You are fucking show-tuning up today.
I know. Maybe I should just sing. Fuck the podcast.
Welcome to the 50th episode.
I wish it was the 50th.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd have a goddamn celebration going on.
That almost sounded like Towley. When I did that little song.
50th.
I want you back.
I want you back.
I'm gonna bring it down.
Arrivederci.
I swear to God, though, when you said that the first time, it sounded just like Richard Pryor in Hear No Evil, Fear No Evil. Or the other way around.
So I'm fucking going for the Swedish Chef.
Dude, seriously, have you... I watched that the other day, though. It's on...
Don't think I've seen the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, that's hilarious. Just the start of the movie is funny as hell when Gene Wilder is walking across the street and the guys from the cars are just yelling at him and he can't hear a damn thing, so when the guys come across the way, he's like, fuck you, man, and Gene Wilder's in there like, fuck you, you fucking asshole, and that's when Richard Pryor starts walking by, and he walks by Gene Wilder thinking he said it to you because he's blind. So he turns around and he's like, you want some of this, fucker? And Gene Wilder's yelling at this other dude while Richard Pryor's behind him. So Gene Wilder can't see him. And so they just keep yelling back and forth.
And hijinks ensue.
Yeah. And then his Richard Pryor's sister, who's trying to, corral him, but he's one of those I'm not blind guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so she finally comes up and corrals him, and he's like, who the hell are you yelling at? This fucker right here! And he's just pointing to nothing.
They have a TV show about that, the blind guy. It's the dude from Oz and Juno. I can never remember his fucking name. Bald guy. Yeah. He plays I guess it's based on a true story, where he plays this blind guy that went through X amount of years, like 20 some years, without his clients. He was a lawyer. His clients even know he was blind and shit like that. He could drive and do all this weird stuff if he kind of figured out the patterns. He was very self-reliant, so I guess they wrote this sitcom about him. God, what the hell is it called? Growing Up Fisher, I think.
Huh.
It's, I don't know, we watched it, their first season. It was actually pretty entertaining, and because it had NBC.
Okay.
It's actually network television, but so now I'm gonna have to catch up on it on Hulu because canceling my cable.
I got another one on Netflix that you gotta watch. It's called Mixology.
It recommended it for me, and I remember seeing the ads on TV because wasn't it like an ABC show?
And I remember looking at it going, "Oh, it's a fucking ABC show," but it is hilarious.
Is it really?
Yeah, I actually really liked it. It's kind of predictable in certain areas, just for the characters.
Yeah,
but the guys that play the characters do them very well. So. And it actually does have a fairly close resemblance to real life in a bar scenario where everybody's trying to hook up. It does take it to a little bit of an extreme.
But you have to.
You wouldn't be able to do that without making it a comedy,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
It's not. I thought it was be like a chick show.
Yeah, I did it at first, too. And then I read a couple of the comments on it. And I was like,
Oh, they actually have comments. I forget to actually read that.
Because the comments kept going back and forth on it, and then I finally just Googled it, got the wiki page.
Yeah.
And then I read a couple of the comments on wiki page, and usually Wikipedia people are fucking harsh on everything.
Yeah, they hate everything.
So when I read a couple of them that were like, this was surprisingly cool. I expected it to be another ABC piece of shit. And I was like, hey, that's the same thing. Fuck it, I might as well give it a chance.
Yeah, you're like, it sounds just like a review I would give if I liked a show.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, I gotta give it a chance. Just like I had to do it to that movie Goats. And I'm glad that I did, because it was it literally was like David Duchovny came out of Californication, strapped on a beard, smoked a bowl, and...
just kept rolling.
Yeah. That was serious.
And that kid actor in there is really, really good.
Yeah.
What is that, Island City or something like that? He had made a little independent flick with that. Oh, was so good. I love that.
Yeah, that kid's gonna probably be an up and coming.
Oh yeah,
because that movie Goats I thoroughly enjoyed, and the critics were fucking harsh on it. Although I thought that was funny because I tried to explain that to Leah and she didn't understand that until recently. I usually hate the movies that are critically acclaimed.
Oh yeah,
like when all those fucking 2 thumbs up. This is the best movie this summer. Fuck you. All it's gonna be is some CGI piece of shit that has no plot, and all it does is go ooh ah.
Yeah.
I don't get visually stimulated in movies. I want to get lost in a movie, and it's hard for me to get lost in a movie when there's so many loopholes and bullshit.
Well, that's what's the problem with action flicks is they're inherently going to have lots of loopholes because you can't obviously do half of the stuff you need to do to make people go, oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's the real in-depth character-driven movies. Like, heavy dialogue is what I seem to enjoy. That's probably why I love Kevin Smith so much.
Heavy dialogue is part of it, but it has to have a plot. There's a lot of movies that have heavy dialogue, but they don't have the plot. Yes, you can throw jokes back and forth and, make it a comedy, but if you're trying to actually have a plot to it and not just be a comedy, you can't just throw jokes to make it a filler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's got to be going somewhere, whether being slow or fast. It's got to have a point to the whole thing. And I hate all these damn movies that are coming out that's all they are, CGI. Like fucking Transformers and the ilk.
I want to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, though. Real bad.
I do, just because of the childhood bullshit
the nostalgia
that I had with them, but I hold reservation that I may like it.
Oh, I think I'm going to love it.
But once again, it is...
Because I'm going to come in there, just eyes wide open, take my money, I'm going to love this, and I will fucking love it. It's going to take like a Jar Jar Binks character to fucking make me hate it.
You going to go to 3D?
I might have to.
I'm going to say, when we went to
IMAX
Oz,
3D, that was legit.
Fucking sweet. That tornado scene was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That was badass.
Yeah.
The IMAX 3D.
Yep.
I mean, they fucking Ninja Turtles, man. They held such a big place in my young life. I might have to make the trip down to Maple Grove. It's only 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But then it also is like a $15 movie ticket.
Well, Leah's been asking to do something this weekend. This weekend for that. And it comes out on Friday, doesn't it?
I believe so.
Oh, Jesus. So that would be just packed.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the biggest movie of the summer. Fuck Transformers.
Not only that, the shit part about seeing that, unless you get to like a matinee during the week.
That's the way. You should do that on a fucking Friday since you don't work.
Off, yeah, but
just skip work.
Hooky. If you could like do that on a matinee on a weekday, I think that'd be cool. But fuck, man, that's the problem with going and seeing a show like that is there's so many kids. Then you can't even enjoy the show because there's always a kid. What's happening?
No, that is
and
true.
And a parent going, shh, you can't do that.
That is true.
It pisses me off every time that happens.
Maybe the best route to go would be the midnight showing on a fucking Tuesday.
Ooh.
Because then you'll only get legit people in there. I mean, you'll get the swath of high school kids because it's summer. Hopefully they don't start acting
I like how you say swath.
But maybe you'll get to see some, like...
You can get a verbuckle of them. See, I can make shit up too. That almost sounds legit, though.
That does.
Verbuckle. I'm going to make that a new word. I'm putting that in Urban Dictionary.
What's the definition?
Oh, that's what I'm going to have to make up.
You're like, the word is done.
Well, with a word that sounds like that, you got to make something regal.
Yeah, that is true. A verbuckle.
It'd be like the old country.
Yeah, it's like a verbuckle. It's like a buckle that was attached to like a lady of nobility's chastity belt.
Oh.
Because it's like...
You've been verbuckled. That means blacked.
Cock blocked.
Yes, that's how I'm going to use it in a sentence.
Verbuckle.
You've been verbuckled. A.K.A. blocked. No boon for you.
Shit, maybe we need to write our own like Lord of the Rings type universe. Because I'm just thinking,
long enough, we can just play them back.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking the possibilities. I mean, verbuckle. That's the only piece of thread I need to start, like, just pulling at this sweater and fucking unraveling it.
That's why we podcast, is we have to get it on fucking tape somehow.
Get it on wax.
Yep.
It's an oral history of our delusions.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, and on that note, we should probably start fairly soon.
That is true.
Because...
Well, we might as well just get it rolling.
Get it rolling.
Get it rolling. The next edition of Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair. Brought to you by Jake.
And Sam.
It's kind of a late start, but what I was reading, kind of off the subject after this whole riff we just went on. But did you see that the MIT researchers have actually been able to read what people say via vibrations in potato chip bags and leaves?
What?
Yeah, they actually came up with this whole new like software that they use high-speed cameras, and then they videotape the object that they want to focus in on, be it the leaf or the potato chip or the bowl of water or whatever. And then they can actually pick up the little nuances of how the material reacts through the vibrations of your words. And then just kind of like a record player, it basically, the software then syncs up and makes a digital composition of exactly what you said based on the vibrations of a potato chip bag. That's like some eagle eye crazy bullshit, isn't that?
That's fucked up, because they're going to use that in cameras, and that'll be where you get terroristic threats from and shit like that.
Well, yeah, exactly, because it goes against, where because like George Orwell, the 1984, the vid screens that were in everybody's house, apartments, so they could watch you whenever they wanted. But there's always there's that little spot in the corner, just out of the view where you could, have his little private thoughts. But now, even with that, you leave a fucking bag of Frito-Lays fucking sitting around, you might as well just be broadcasting it on the internet like a fucking idiot.
Fucking raking the leaves out of your house. That's all I gotta say.
I know, that plant right there is giving it away. There's somebody taking a picture of your plant and understanding what we're saying.
Well, as long as it's that plant, I'm okay with it.
Because he's a pretty tight-lipped plant. Plant's legit. So I just thought that was fucking interesting.
That is weird.
But, I mean, the practical uses of it are pretty limited, I'd imagine, because how often are you going to have a better opportunity to mount up this fucking high-speed camera as opposed to just, like, here?
I really wonder if that was in a completely controlled environment where they didn't have any wind or anything like that. So, I mean, the practicality is years and years and years away.
It's fucking good in theory. Like communism and prohibition.
I've got to tell you how inept our government is real quick, and this comes to the local government.
Ooh, the worst kind.
Yeah, I just think this is hilarious because they're actually talking about a house that is on the opposite, it's the block that way, and on the other end of the block.
Okay.
Like, here, it's going to suck for everybody else because they can't see, but that's my house.
Yeah.
This is where we're talking about.
Okay,
so it's not even the house.
There's a major thoroughfare,
yeah.
The house across, an alley, and then a house.
And this is the fun part about our government. I noticed that the envelope says 48 cents.
Okay.
So our city government sends this through Minneapolis, so it goes an hour south to come back up an hour north to be shipped out to me when I literally live, maybe 2 miles from where the city hall is.
And the post office.
Yeah. And this is literally what they're saying in that. Notice is hereby given that the Zoning Board of Appeals in and for the city of St. Cloud, Minnesota will meet in council chambers, City Hall, on Tuesday, August 19th, 2014 at 7 p.m. to consider a request from Paul and Marcia Shoemaker for approval of the following variants from Article 8, Section 8.2, Table 8-2, interior side yard setback. The applicants want to install a fireplace in an existing wall on the north side of their home.
Those fucking bastards!
But the existing sidewall will be 3.5 feet from the property line.
Illegal!
The St. Cloud Land Development Code requires proposed fireplace would project 8 inches into the interior side yard on the north side of the house. A variance to the interior side yard setback is necessary to allow for a fireplace addition. The request is for the following description or described property. And then it gives their address. Then it says, this notice is given to all persons who own land within 500 feet of the property under review who may wish to appear to give testimony, ask questions, or hear additional information regarding the request. Well, first of all, I live more than 500 feet from this place.
Yeah, but still...
Way more than 500.
Hey, they're doing their due diligence, Sam.
But literally, that means how much? They've paid at least $20, $30, just to tell me that somebody, not even on my fucking block or street even, wants to fucking make a fireplace.
That is micromanaging local government at its finest.
I'm not kidding you. And then they tell me if I want to come and bitch about it.
You should.
I should come and bitch about getting the letter.
You should go on this...
Being like, why the fuck are you wasting our money, our taxpayers' dollars, to tell me that this douchebag wants to make a fucking fireplace? No offense, I know you're a block away. Yeah. But this douchebag wants to make a motherfucking fireplace, and you're costing my money to tell me that that's what's going to happen?
I object to this. Have your fireplace, sir.
Seriously, you really want to inform me of this, but you keep other shit that's actually important into the community in the shadows. But this is what we'll spend money on to inform me.
And how much do these poor sons of bitches have to pay for permits and everything just to put this fucking fireplace in?
Do they have to pay for all the mailings?
No, they just... Well, maybe their permit.
Maybe that's factored into the filing fees.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just look at it and say, what the fuck? Why would I give a shit if somebody 2 blocks away wants to make a goddamn fireplace in their house?
But it's going to be 3.5 feet away from the property.
3.5 inches into the interior yard.
Whoa. I thought it was going to be away from the property line that far.
3.5 inches.
Well, then what is the point?
I still don't give a fuck. Why are you spending this money to do this? That is absolute waste at its finest.
Because it's the law.
Then change the fucking laws. That's what government is there for. What due diligence is this?
Yeah, the only due diligence that really needed to happen in a situation like that is act like a fucking neighbor. Go talk to your neighbor and be like, hey, I'm planning on doing this. Just prepare you. There's going to be a lot of banging and fucking noisy shit. This is going to happen.
Well, I didn't even do that. But like, for banging and shit like that. But I did my due diligence when I built the above-ground garden.
Yeah.
I just told them, it's going to be here. So prepare your eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care if you like seeing nothing but lawn there. I'm making a garden. It's my yard.
Yeah, but I'm going
to let you know that I'm doing it.
And so you can voice any opinion you have right now, so I can ignore it.
Yep,
right
exactly.
And then
so
we can move.
Say duly noted.
Yep, and we can move the fuck on. And I don't want you to have like this deep-seated angst towards me that'll sprout up at random moments for something completely unrelated because you're really pissed about my fucking above-ground garden.
Yep, that's exactly what I was trying to go away from, is to get him pissed off like that. And it perfectly worked out in my favor, because then I ended up talking him into making that strawberry hutch so we could bury that bullshit stump that was there, because that was really bugging me.
Yeah, that wasn't that the stump that destroyed the house?
Yeah, that's how we got the house. So I liked the tree, hated the stump, but it was still half on my property. So
yeah,
or the strawberry hutches anyway. The fun part about it is the stump that was there, the insurance company actually cut the stump at the property line because they weren't going to pay for his removal.
That is douchebaggery at its finest.
So since the tree, the root structure was half in his yard and half in this yard, when it fell, they literally told him, cut it at the property line. So the insurance company that these people had only paid for the removal on this side and left him that giant stump.
And he, of course, isn't going to pay to remove that.
No, he tried to. He said that he dulled 2 chainsaw blades on it because it was that fucking old oak tree. So
yeah,
he couldn't even get it out after it because it just sun-soaked in the, and just got all the moisture out of it. So it was just hard as shit. Then we made that strawberry hutch over the top of it, and I was like, fuck it. That means that for the next 20 years, that thing's going to have food to eat. As that stump is now decomposing because it'll be all under earth and all moist and all that kind of shit. As it decomposes, it'll just feed those strawberries.
That's true. That's legit, dude. Way to use nature in your favor. Go green, girls.
And I got rid of a shit thing.
Absolutely.
And delicious strawberries, I might add.
Ooh, you finally getting some good yields this year?
I went out there and I picked another probably pound of them today. We're starting to freeze them.
Dude, nice.
Because we've eaten way too many strawberries already, and we've given them to all the neighbors, and my sister and
You haven't given me any?
You haven't come over to pick them.
Damn,
my sister and mom have come over and picked green beans and berries.
Nice.
We're the farm in Central.
Shit, I'm just going to sneak by at night sometime and just start plucking. Bloop, 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 bloop.
You'll probably get beat by the neighbor with his broom.
Fuck that. He'll know who I am. I'm around here enough. Every Tuesday.
Oh, you're the guy that always at his parties, huh?
Yeah.
He worms his way into every single one of them and just stands there and doesn't drink. It's kind of odd, but I like him. He's a good guy.
He probably has nothing else to do. Doesn't seem like he really has too much of a hopping social life.
Who does anymore?
Nah, old people.
Yeah.
I do. I rage all night.
Rage.
And fucking party hardy all day. Shit, that just showed my age.
You're one of the only people I know that can fall asleep on any chair. I've seen you almost fall asleep in a fucking McDonald's. And those
the food will kill
are designed not to be comfortable.
Yeah. Hey, I have absolutely no problem sleeping.
No, you don't.
You give me 15 minutes, quiet, and I'm done. Fuck it. If I'm not doing anything, or it's pretty nice. It's a good thing it's a good, what am I trying to say?
Good burden to bear?
Yes. I was going to go skill, because I've mastered it and honed it for years.
I'm going to say I can't do that. I'm not one of these people that can just fall asleep at any time, any place. Literally, my brain just can't shut off at some points. I have to be in...
You have to be wasted out of your mind and pass out?
Yeah. Basically, for a lot of different things. Like, well, I don't say that all the time. I'm just saying for uncomfortable situations, or to be just passed out in a chair. Yeah, I probably was doing some pretty heavy drinking.
Yeah, if you're gonna be like with your head hanging over.
I can very, very seldom ever sleep sitting. I always have to lay down, or at least recline to a point where it almost feels like laying down. Sitting to me, for some reason, is just not comfortable enough to sleep. But you can do it like a champ.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, hey, what? Shit, I almost forgot about this. I wanted to talk about this, about government accountability.
Oh, we're on the government theme with you today. You're ranting. Is this local government, or?
No, this is Fed. USAspending.gov was audited.
Oh, shit. Bad news is coming down the pipe.
A government website intended to make federal spending more transparent was missing at least $619 billion, with a B, billion, from 302 federal programs a government audit has found.
Damn.
And the data that does exist is wildly inaccurate. According to the Government Accountability Office, which looked at 2012 spending data, only 2% to 7% of spending data on USAspending.gov is, quote, fully consistent with agency's records, unquote. According to the report, among the data missing from the 6-year-old federal website, the Department of Health Human Resources failed to report nearly $544 billion. The Department of the Interior did not report spending for 163 of its 265 assistant programs because the department said its accounting systems were not compatible with the data entry forms that that they used. Wow. The result, $5.3 billion in spending missing from the website. The White House itself failed to report any of the programs. At the official National Drug Control Policy, which is part of the White House, officials said they thought HHS was responsible for reporting their own spending.
That is
so literally, perfect. Why can they plead ignorance and I can't?
Yeah.
For more than 22% of federal awards, the spending website literally doesn't know where the money went. The, quote, place of performance, unquote, of federal contracts was most likely to be wrong. That's a problem, said Senator Tom Carper.
No shit, Carper.
The chairman of the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs. Quote, we live in a world in which information drives decisions. And given the budget constraints that our government faces, we need reliable information on how and where our money is being spent, unquote. The report comes as the Obama administration begins to implement the Digital Accountability and Transparency Act, which Congress passed last year to expand the amount of federal spending data available to the public. So last year, we've already passed something, and this is what we're coming out with. I'm going to say this one more time. $619 billion. How the fuck do you lose $619 billion? I'm just going to say this. If this was a bar and you were a bartender and I was missing anywhere close to that out of my register, you'd be fired.
$6.
And these motherfuckers lose $619 billion with a B. What the fuck? How are these guys still living? I know drug dealers that'll kill for $500.
Well, that's the problem, is the criminals are the one that are stealing it, not getting stolen from.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we were talking about. Why spend $300 million to get a job that pays $347,000 a year?
So you can steal all the
$619 billion! I'm just pissed about this because I paid taxes last year. I didn't get money back. And that's what they do with it. Oh, don't know where that went. Give me mine back. I knew where it went then. I'm happy. What the fuck? I read that article and I nearly shit myself. Well, actually, I kind of did because I was on the pot. That's just an expression. It's just an expression. I should have actually said I nearly threw up. Because that was just sickening. I read that fucking number and went, holy shit, I can't even fathom that amount of money.
Yeah, you guys made up that much money already?
$619 billion.
Because there's not $619 billion worth of anything in this world.
Nobody on the face of this planet has that much money. Nobody. Like, you're talking about Bill Gates, what? He's got $4 billion. $619 billion? So you could literally take, like, the top 1%, and that's what they're worth?
Yeah.
And that's what you lost?
You pretty much have everybody in the world fuck you money.
Holy shit! How can we lose that amount of money? How can I not find any of it?
You went into the wrong business.
I'm just saying, if you just think of $619 billion in like $1 bills, don't you think I would have found one by now? I mean, come on, there's, what, 700 million people in this? No, not even, maybe. I don't fucking know. All I know is there's a lot of dollar bills for all of us.
A lot.
Put that shit towards the national debt, you asshole.
Isn't there only 300, like, some million Americans? Isn't that what it was? Like, a couple years ago?
374. That's where I was getting the 70 from. Yes, 374 is what I heard last.
All right.
So if you look at that, 374 million Americans, $619 billion.
Yeah, so we're looking at about 400 million if you count illegals. I mean, and now add some more. They keep coming, man. Those conservatives are freaking out down at the border. They're just keep pouring in.
Go home.
Yeah, go back to Mexico. I'm from Honduras.
And the best part about it is they're too dumb to understand that when the guys from the bus are going, "Okay," they're not saying, "All right,
I'm self-deporting."
Yep.
Which is probably the stupidest plan I've ever heard for that was let's self-deport.
Yeah. I just like
that was an epic rant.
I could not believe that amount of money.
That's ridiculous. I mean, that's the long and short of it is it just fucking was.
Somebody should die.
Yeah,
that's the long and short.
Because they stole from us.
I'm not advocating go out and kill the closest politician to you. What I'm advocating is somebody needs to be fucking accountable and somebody needs to fucking die for something like this. I'm not fucking kidding you. You put Bernie Madoff in jail for how many years for not stealing near $619 billion?
Yeah.
So who the fuck is the accountable person? Why is it that government has no accountability whatsoever? What happened to the days when people made them accountable? When people looked at them and said, there's 374 million of us. What the fuck do you think you're doing? You're stealing from all of our mouths? You're stealing from my kids' mouths, my mom's mouths, all this shit. And nobody gives a fuck. And then I have people that are all the time telling me, well, you need to calm down and you need to just take it easy and you need to fucking liven up. You need to get some fucking fire in your guts. You need to fucking look at that number again and say $619 billion. I can't even fathom having $1 million in my bank account. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
I'm just saying. How the hell are people not seeing this shit and starting to get pissed off?
Fuck, I agree,
man.
This
is our fucking money. This whole fucking country is poor except for 1%. And everybody's okay with this shit. Because nobody can read.
That is true. Well, the thing is, they got all of us poor bastards busting our ass, working 3 jobs just to be fucking poor at the end of the month.
I'm in a job that gives me mandatory overtime.
And that's the thing, and people don't have time for leisure. And then
if I quit the job, I don't have another.
That is true. I mean, and that's really what it boils down to, is there's no excuse whatsoever why we need to work 40 hours a week. And I will testify to this, is because my job is pretty loosey-goosey on what I can and cannot do and when I come and go and please. Pretty much if I hit my fucking sales numbers, that's my income. So if I don't, I don't pay bills. So it's kind of a self-regulating system. So it's just kind of basically, so I can honestly tell you the times where I've worked 3 days a week, I was much more productive than 5 days.
Oh yeah.
Because you're focused. You're there with an intent and a purpose.
Look at the performance that an employee does when they know they're going on vacation.
Oh, absolutely.
That, to me, is absolutely hilarious, just to find yourself even doing it. The whole time, you're not at work. You're thinking about 3 days from now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, only 3 days and I don't have to be here. I have to be in a car for a day, but that's okay. Because I'm not here.
Exactly.
So think about that. You just see anybody that week right before a vacation and they fucking rock the shit out.
Because they're all loose.
Shit that hasn't been done for weeks gets done in a day.
Yeah.
And then they catch all the way up to the point where they have absolutely no work and they're at that point they're so fucking happy about being able to do what they're about to do. They're sitting there going, hey, you got any work you need me to do? They don't even...
I got time to kill.
Yeah, because they're just so happy about thinking about where they're going, they don't care where they are at that point.
Yeah.
That's why I think it would be awesome to work at a place like Google. Not saying that I want to work for Google, I'm saying a place like Google.
Is there any place like Google?
Yes.
Oh.
Google.
I hear Zappos is pretty legit like that. That'd be a fun... Just any work environment would... Basically, what it means is it's not so much, I want to work for this specific company. No, it's I wish companies treated their employees with respect.
Yes. Not only that, but this, to me, was absolutely hilarious. I actually read an article about Google talking that their whole aspect of you can bring your pet to work.
Yeah.
And how when they approached that, they actually asked their legal firm, well, what's this going to do? And the legal firm said, well, you might actually need to find a new insurance provider. And you're like, well, why? Well, if you tell everybody they can bring their dogs or their animals, you can't really say, well, you can't bring yours, you can't bring yours. And if a fight breaks out, you're going to be liable for it. If somebody gets bit by a dog, you're going to be liable for it. And an insurance company's probably not going to want to keep you for that. And Google actually came out to the insurance company. The insurance company told them straight up, well, we're not going to keep you then. And Google was just like, well, fuck you then. We're going to do it. So now if anything actually happens, they don't have an insurance provider for that. They have to pay out of pocket, but they just looked at it and said, having animals in the workplace lowers stress.
Oh, yeah.
If you lower stress, why would anything want to fight? If everybody's having a good time, everybody's having fun, everybody's loosey-goosey, they have a nap center, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So, of course, everything's low stress. Why would anything want to fight at Google? Everything's happy there.
I can testify to that 100% because when e-promos first started out downtown, that building allowed us to have dogs. The one we're renting now, they wouldn't allow it for us to move in and all this shit. But I could just tell the difference. Like, one of my coworkers, Jeff, he had this kick-ass golden retriever named Gump. And it'd be like, everything would be falling apart, like orders and fucking people's lives and ruined, for cheap Chinese plastic. And then you get, of course, all caught up in that illusion and the bullshit, and you're all stressed out. And then this son of a bitch just comes walking up to you, just not a care in the world, and you're just like, shit, way to bring me fucking right back into
and
now.
And they seem to have the knack for picking that time of just being like, hey, man, it'll be okay.
Oh, absolutely. Dogs
no, look at me. Pet me.
Yep.
Just settle down. And that's how fucking dogs are. They really are. Diego comes upstairs when I get stressed out. He can hear me being like, fuck you, man. He'll come up and he'll put his head right on my lap and just be like, hey, man, settle down. I'll pet him a couple of times and he'll go lay down behind me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. They understand. After a while, they know what human reactions are.
Yeah.
And they can just be like, hey, man, woo, woo.
Well, they almost have, like, a fucking 17th sense about, like, shit. Because, I mean, where they talk about they can sniff cancer.
Yeah.
And they do all this crazy, like, paranormal bullshit. That they're fucking, like, freaky psychic dogs.
Yeah, I've heard of that shit, too. Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny to think that a lot of places don't look at it like that. And insurance companies in general are fucking bitches when it comes to animals.
Well, they're bitches when it comes to anything.
I look at it, somebody getting attacked by a dog or, bit by a dog the same way that I look at a fight happening. First thing I'd like to just say is, what'd you do?
Yeah.
Very few times are people just attacked.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but very few times.
Yeah.
Like, the vast majority of times that dogs attack humans, I don't know why the dog bit me! And then you rewind the tape and, so that wasn't you throwing rocks at the dog, huh? And it finally broke its leash and came and bit your stupid little ass. Yeah, because nobody else would want to beat you in the face if somebody was getting thrown a rock at you, know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck if you're a 10-year-old kid. You hit me in the head with a rock, I'm going to come and I'm going to punch you in the fucking face.
Hey, in the sternum. He's only a kid.
I'm saying face. You're learning a damn lesson. You hit me in the head. You hit me in the back, I'll hit you in the gut. I'm just saying. This is tit for tat, bitches. You're going to learn.
You know what's hilarious is that actually happened at the office once, where there was a dog fight. It was hilarious. Like, this one lady brings her Great Dane in, which is great for a fucking office of that has like 15 people in it, and this other girl brings her Greyhound in, and then another coworker, he brings his cat in.
Oh, nice.
So the fucking Great Dane and the Greyhound go at it, start chasing, then they like get distracted by the cat, And so they start chasing the cat. The cat runs to its owner, up on his deck, knocks over the fishbowl that he has. So the fish is flopping around. Cat's running. Dog's fighting. I'm sitting here trying to fucking sell some cheap Chinese plastic.
No, we don't work at a zoo, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Core Valley number 13 doesn't have to feel like work. Actually, I think that's 11.
Sitting there with some popcorn going, fucking show!
Exactly. So that was hilarious. I was just waiting for him to shove a gerbil up his fucking ass.
That's good times.
Round out the Richard Gere goddamn roundabout. Alright, but enough of those shenanigans. So did you hear that Ticketmaster leaked one of the locations of the Coors Light Stadium Series NHL 2015?
I did not.
Yeah, I guess they accidentally put tickets up on like a live thing where they could buy them, and the fucking venue pissed me off. Levi Stadium, basically the 49er stadium, so they're having another California-based winter classic.
That is ridiculous. The last one was slush.
Yeah, San Jose versus LA this time. I mean, that was the slowest game of NHL hockey I've ever seen. Those guys couldn't skate worth a shit. The most entertaining part of the game was when the ref killed the bug on the ice.
Well, and the best part about it was they could, like, slap shot, and it would go halfway up the ice. You know what I mean? You'd have somebody like Chara taking an actual slap shot, and it wouldn't even go the length of the ice.
I mean, granted, you'd pretty much have the same kind of speed and puck movement as if it was snowing really hard. But I would prefer that to be the case as opposed to it melting, because you're playing an outdoor hockey game in California.
Yeah, Jake, but they'd rather have an incredible amount of electricity taken up for a refrigeration unit to keep it cold this time. They worked the bugs out.
Well, I'm sorry, but
and
California...
You're right, because California is definitely where the most hockey fans are.
Well, maybe now, because they're a bunch of goddamn bandwagon fans and they've won 2 Stanley Cups in 5 years.
I'm just saying. You have that in Minnesota, and I'm guaranteeing you it is sold to the fucking max. You've got people breaking in to watch it.
Yeah, and they could easily do that. I would say TCF Bank Stadium would be the legit spot.
Yep.
Or the new... I bet you $100 they're going to wait till the Viking Stadium. Then they're going to toss it in there.
Well, we spent how much money on
They fucking better.
Yeah, might as well.
Well, you'd be cool at Target Field, too.
Yeah, that would actually be better because you'd have 3 sides of the ice taken.
Yeah, but I mean, just the football stadium is just kind of set up better for it because it's that, you know, circle's a thing, and then, I mean, even though it's really, really small comparatively, but...
Yeah, it is fucking hilarious on how small it is like that. You could actually do them like the width almost.
Exactly. I don't know, I just saw football was on TV this weekend, the Hall of Fame game for the NFL. Yeah. That's not that I'm into the football or I was excited about that. The only thing I was excited about was like, ooh, month and a half till hockey. Yep. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Gonna get some stick on.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, it's gonna be a great hockey season.
We had some killer pickups.
Vanek. It's going to be Barry and Gino's left and right, son.
One guy that I'm absolutely weirded out, and I say that full knowing that it is a strange thing, but yes, weirded out about Stonerly.
Why?
I didn't like him for the longest time.
Yeah, I can testify to that.
Until the playoffs started. And holy fucking shit, was he the only guy that came to show up on a couple of the games where he was banging bodies.
Yeah.
He was doing everything you need a defenseman to do in the playoffs, and it's too bad that we didn't have more of him.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would have said that.
That is true. I would never thought you would have said that as well. You were one of his harshest critics.
But...
Even you're like, he has a kick-ass name, but he sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've just been stoned. You know, like, I'd say that to everybody I hit.
Oh my god, how cheesy would that be?
Well, seriously, how awesome would that be? that you just got laid the fuck out, and as you're sitting there going, trying to catch your breath, some douchebag was like, "You've been stoned."
That just skates off.
Yep, exactly.
No,
nonchalant.
No helmet.
Throws the mullet back.
Just fucking flow. Just flowing.
Damn straight. I that is just, it's classic.
That is classic.
You can't write that shit. It just comes to you. And I would have done that. That would have been my catchphrase of just banging the dude. You've been stoned. You know?
How long?
It doesn't even lose its power.
How long before you just got cross-checked to the throat?
Yeah. Exactly. And then you caused somebody else to cause a penalty because they were like, that was so fucking cheesy, I have to hit you.
Yeah, but how if he crushes your voice box and you can never say anything again?
You've been stoned.
You'd have that'd be funny if you actually did.
You got NHL money?
Yeah, just get one of those decoder watches, the Samsung, and then just have it speak like in the hockey.
Just
voice.
have the visor and have it like Stephen Hawking style,
or projects,
or
on the visor. Fuck you,
You've
cunt.
been stoned. Just flashes across.
That's like 23rd century hockey. That's coming.
That's hilarious.
That shit's coming.
Oh,
I'm just waiting for them to be like Europeans and all decked out in adverts, like everywhere, like the face-off circles and freaking advertising. I don't want to see that.
I don't think that'll happen just because the owners, I don't think, will allow it. They'd rather have the emblem center ice than motor oil.
Yeah, but you've seen like the Europeans where they actually have the face-off dots.
Yeah.
Where they're just, that looks so ugly.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry. It's just, you need to just keep it pure. I don't like those logos they have on it now.
Yeah, the shit that's on the glass behind the goalies.
Oh, where they project it? That's, what's so funny is Andrea was like, is that really on the glass? I go, if that was really on the glass, those $200 tickets would be worthless. And how pissed would you be if all you could stare at was a Subway fucking advert and you're not watching hockey? I'm like, that was a dumb question.
You don't see people back there going, what the fuck?
Yeah, scraping it off.
Somebody's just hanging on it.
Got their keys.
Oh.
It's like watching games up in the enclosed area at Arena East where it just gets all foggy. Exactly. And you gotta
you gotta wipe the fucking,
you gotta squeegee. Do you employ some kid to fucking keep doing it for you? Hey kid, you can hang out with us old guys if you keep rubbing down the window. That sounded really gross.
Yeah, it did.
Okay,
really did.
But see, how much better would it sound?
Why is the floor sticky?
How much better would it sound if it was like, hey kid, keep squeegeeing that window.
Get it all nice and clean. That's it. In them cracks. Don't forget the corners.
We're terrible. I don't know, but I'm still disappointed about the fucking February California hockey game outdoor. That is
I am as well. That's pretty pathetic.
It's just fucking weak sauce where I come from. So are you going to get out and vote on the primary August 12th
Really?
Coming up next Tuesday?
You're going to ask me that like I don't vote?
Hey, are you actually going to do it?
Yes.
Okay. Who are you voting for Secretary of State? You going to vote for Bob Helland?
It's my right as an American citizen that I do not have to tell you.
You don't have to, but I'm still going to grill you. That's my right as an asshole.
That is true. But I have to support that because I am so much more of an asshole than you are.
That is true. But, yeah.
You were supposed to put up a little bit of a fight.
Nope, not at all. But I think it's pretty sweet that Bob Helland is going to be on the ballot. I think this Sunday when we're going to come back from Duluth after Joel's wedding, I think we're going to drive down to the St. Paul from Duluth and then go to one of his parties.
Who?
His pre-primary party. Bob Helland. Oh. He's having it at Sweeney's Saloon in St. Paul from 1 to 5 on Sunday, August 10th. Anybody listening in the Minnesota area, get your grizzled ass down there. Support an independent party. Sorry. This ad was brought to you by Bob Helland for Secretary of State.
There you go.
But yeah, I don't know.
Now you gotta give his competitors equal airtime, or we're never gonna see the light of day.
Fuck them. That's what I say. Fuck them.
What a democracy.
I know.
Now they're going to be saying this left-wing liberal media bullshit. Yeah.
We keep them guessing, Sam. We keep them guessing. Did you see this?
619!
Did you see that the New York Police Department released a footage of this like surveillance cam from a bodega where this dude just gets like shot 5 times by his best friend?
Weird.
Yeah, it was like at 1 a.m, and I guess these two are like rappers, aspiring rappers, and they're filming a music video in the bodega, and they got into an argument about who was the star and who was the best one, and they were all fucking liquored up. And they all of a sudden shit escalates, and then the dude just pulls out a gun, shoots him 5 times, and then just starts pistol whipping him in the fucking head.
Wow.
Still holding his drink the entire time. And the worst part about it is he like just walks out the back door, and then you see 5 other people just walk past the guy. Like he's just a piece of trash and just step over him and walk out the back door.
Wow.
These are all supposedly like friends and people. Yeah. It was, and then like it. I watched the video and it's fucked. You really don't get to see the victim. You basically the whole frame is you see like the dude shooting the guy off camera, and then you can just kind of see his feet. And but the worst part about it was, yeah, shit like happens all the time. People are fucking stupid, especially with the guns, and they want to be fucking rappers.
Yeah.
I mean, get some goddamn real role models, please.
That's a street cred.
We have our first black president. Come on, get a real role model.
Yeah.
But, well, he probably kills more fucking people than any rapper with his drone strikes.
That's true.
So, scratch that. I was trying to tout the American line, but I know better.
He's the OG.
But yeah,
the original government.
From Kenya. No. That was one of my favorites.
Guatemala.
No, Indonesia was the other one.
Oh, that's where they have the dot, not the feather, right?
Yeah. Not even close.
Yeah, but it was funny.
They make a lot of your clothing you're wearing right now. And probably those shoes.
It's China.
Oh, is it? You're strictly China.
Yep.
I'm China made. I got American pride. China made, son. Fuck your Filipino bullshit.
Yep.
Vietnam, been there, killed them once.
Still killing them. You know how many fucking landmines are still?
Yeah, no shit. There's some poor little kid running through a rice paddy, and all of a sudden he's a paraplegic. Hey, at least he can.
No, I heard something like there's still 200,000 some landmines that were unaccounted for
and undetonated.
So somewhere throughout the course of Vietnam, there's over 200,000 people that could easily be killed.
That just seems like a strategic flaw. Because one thing I've learned from hiding Easter eggs is you always got to make a map. Because you don't want to be smelling them by June. Like, what the fuck is that?
I understand some of it. But then again, I don't really understand. Because, like, when you're making a base, you want to throw mines all the way around except for here and here. Because those are your exit points. And for those, you just want to choke them with fencing and stuff like that. So they have to go through the mines or they have to get choked off and come in slowly. That's pretty tactical. I mean, that's 101.
101.
So, I understand just throwing mines wherever the fuck you dig. You don't make a rhyme, reason, pattern, or whatnot. These are mines. All they are to make sure that the enemy, if they run this way, they get killed. So you're just putting them anywhere. The only thing you know is don't walk there. After you set them all, that's bad. Nobody walks there or you die. Or you're extremely lucky.
Yes.
So, I understand that kind of stuff, but then again, wouldn't you think that it would be so much easier and so much more, just, I guess, nice? That if you knew that that's where your base was and you're not using that base anymore, that you drop a bomb somewhere around there so that it blows up all those stupid mines that you left?
That would make sense, but then where's the residual casualties?
Yeah, then you got nothing else to write about. And you know that bomb did cost an extra $3,000. Yeah. Just leaving them there for everything else to die. That's cheap as hell.
And I truly think those sociopaths in our government fucking squirt a little jism out every time they hear about one of them extras getting killed. They thrive on that shit. They love it. It's almost like they eat it for breakfast.
You're also talking about a government that actually said okay to dump machinery into the ocean.
Yeah.
Because it was what they claimed cheaper to dump a $25 million helicopter. $25 million back then was a lot of money, just like it is now.
Yeah.
It's just like a $70 or $70 million.
But not $619 billion.
Damn right. But I mean, you're dumping a $25 million helicopter off the side of the ship saying, well, it's cheaper in gas. What?
Fuck you.
Isn't this fucking ship going back anyway? What the fuck?
But you gotta understand how many times we get to use that thing again.
I'm just gonna look at it this way. Did we pay $25 million to tank this thing off? Like, when we were at the gas pump, did it hit $25 million? Then what the fuck? You're just dumping $25 million a time off the side of the ship.
Yeah, but then how would the military-industrial complex keep the war machine moving? Yeah. Is if we reused it?
That's why we spend, what is it, $3.6 trillion a year on it or something like that? That's with a T.
Yes.
Trillion. I think that's what it was. I don't know if that's 100%, but I know it is in the trillion.
It's close enough for our needs. Rabble rouser.
Although I will say this. For as much money as we spend on it, and for as much as people bitch about our military, they are basically the baddest ass things that are on the face of the planet. I mean, the machines that we have, we as much as people bitch about, and this is where I'm trying to go with it, not basically the military. I am going to say, as much as we bitch about not having production, as having, things that actually are made in the USA, the things that really matter, apparently to Republicans, the only things that matter are our protection so the war doesn't come here.
Yeah.
Damn, those are some bad fucking ass machines. The shit that we have for our military is the finest in the world. That has been tried, tested, and proven. And it's amazing. But, then again, it does come with the price tag that everybody knows. You do have to question the whole validity of the point of saying, would you want your brother, your father, your son, daughter, sister, mother, any of that shit, would you want them to be less equipped? And that's when I would look at it and say, fuck you. Seriously, less equipped? Anybody that knows anything about movies should know what the Bradley vehicle cost us.
Yeah.
And the sad grammar was awesome in that, I gotta say.
And the sad part about it is we sent those fuckers to Iraq in 2003 without armored Humvees and no body armor.
Yeah, you guys can kiss my ass when you think that the money that we spend is actually going to the soldiers.
We're being robbed by the military-industrial complex.
$619 billion! And that's just the one side.
Yeah.
Then we got to talk about the trillions that are going into the military that aren't seen because of their black ops projects where they don't even have to disclose what they're spending the money on.
Or the shit they're paying Pizza Hut to feed our troops.
Yeah.
When, guess what? You have troops that can work as food service people. You don't have to hire
You do on ships.
Yeah.
You do on bases. But you don't in headquarters. It just amazes me that a company like Pizza Hut could say, you know what we could do? We could actually make shit that would be, we just drop the ovens, make a shelter that's, could be picked up and gone the next day.
Oh, exactly.
All we need is one semi-trailer. We could just drop the whole thing, And fuck, we can make all this money by selling this to all the fucking soldiers. And they do that shit.
And they should be giving it away.
Yes. Our government should be giving it away. Our government isn't even as cool as Google. You can go out there and die for your country, but you don't get a free lunch. Google gives their fucking employees free lunches. You can get a free lunch. It's called an MRE. It's not fun.
No. And that's the worst part, is the war in Iraq and Afghanistan are just kind of epitomize what kind of a fascist government we actually live under. Because even our war is corporatized.
Yeah.
We can't even fight a socialized war. We have to have the soldiers get paid dick, but then we pay this other corporation that's going to pay their mercenaries $100,000 a year to do the exact same job as the soldier getting paid $30,000.
Oh yeah, but those were the soldiers that were in your army for 20 years to begin with.
During peacetime.
So not only are they getting paid the same thing as Blackwater's paying them, but they're also getting pensions from our army.
Yeah, exactly. Double dipping, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, it just, to me, it doesn't make any sense that an outside contractor is used unless you're breaking the law. Yeah. Because that's literally what the contractor is. They don't have to abide by the rules of war.
Oh, yeah.
They're not considered an army.
Well, because even look at what Blackwater or Z or whatever the fuck they're called now, that Prince character that ran them.
Now it's not Blackwater anymore, not after that shit.
It was like, it's something else. They actually went in cahoots with some goddamn Middle Eastern security company too, so I think this dude's on the run. And what's crazy is whistleblowers within the corporation get murdered.
Yep.
Fucking
murdered. What
murdered.
the fuck do you think was going to happen? You got a whole nest full of mercenaries and somebody's like, that guy did it. Who did it? I don't know, he's dead. You're like, what the fuck? I had my back turned. I didn't see who was pointing at.
Dude, it's just brutal. And I don't know. That's kind of shit like that just amazes me that we'll allow that and we'll kind of support that and be, hey, let's pay for that. Have some random guy that literally thinks he is doing God's will by murdering Muslims.
Yep.
That is the most fucked kind of person to have.
To be honest, though, it's the same way as with the extremist Muslims that are looking at it and saying, if I kill any infidel...
Yeah. They're all fucking idiots.
Exactly. It's an extremist movement of either side.
Yeah, and unfortunately, us rational sons of bitches are in the middle just watching this
What's
craziness.
Unfortunate is, I will actually say this, you're not as I am being a atheist, you're agnostic, but us that don't believe are the ones that they still call crazy. We look at it and go, wait. So you would never vote for somebody who doesn't believe in a God because they have no morals, yet you just skinned somebody alive because they were supposedly an extremist in their religion, so that bugged yours. Yet I have no morals.
Yeah.
You're perfectly okay with the genocide that's happened. Because it's not genocide to you. It's not even ethnic cleansing to you. It's getting rid of infidels. But you're okay with that. Alright, I see this. Well, let's look at it the other aspect. So you're okay with not just staying in your homeland, but traveling a couple thousand miles south to try to retake a supposed homeland and kill everybody who doesn't believe what you do. Yeah, you're right. Christianity and Muslims, they have the same intentions, and all it is to kill if you get to that extreme measurement. Not saying all of them are that way. In fact, I would say the minority of them usually that way.
But it's always the loud minority.
But if you
and I mean loud and boom!
If you just...
That loud.
I get you! I'm just saying, there's always that minority that do take it to that extreme level, but you never hear of any goddamn atheist being like, There's no money! Boom!
Oh, exactly. It's that old saying, the only way to get decent people to do horrific things is with religion.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can do it.
I just find it funny that people actually said, I think it's the last poll that came out, 43% of people said that they would vote for somebody that did not believe in a deity. Didn't say atheist, didn't say agnostic, didn't say anything. All the question was did not believe in a deity. And when the follow-up question came of why would you not, the number one answer was they wouldn't have morals. I don't give a fuck what people think they know about somebody like me who has been through religion and told it that's bullshit. But if you look at it in the majority of the time, the reason that people say it's bullshit, like me, and drop out of it is because we see what they try to make you do. A lot of people can go through the whole thing and just go, yeah, this is religion. I believe this, and, I don't get it that extreme, though. But they always try to get the most extreme and the most extreme and the most extreme.
Oh, absolutely.
It always comes down to the same thing. Hate this, hate that. And then really what was the religion for other than a recruitment tool for a gang? Nobody ever looks at it that way.
That is true.
Everybody always looks as this is an accepting group. They love me. This is my brothers and sisters. You fucking fool, wake up, man. Just because they're the only people that like you doesn't mean that that's, the right place to be. It just means you might be a douchebag and nobody else can put up with you because of it, and you found the other douchebags.
Well, and they're only putting up with you just so long as you go blow yourself up.
Yeah.
Because they know they don't have to deal with you for that much longer. So they're like, come on, brother. He's really fucking annoying.
And, but don't worry. You're behind the doors. I heard Ahmed say, if I have to deal with him for another week, I'm going to kill him. And Muhammad said back to him, don't worry, he's gone tomorrow.
Exactly. And we're telling you.
You could have said the exact same thing with Chris and Bob.
Yep. But hey, I'm going to tell him there's going to be 72 virgins.
Yep.
So he'll be okay.
It's just, to me, no matter what you say, well, if you die on God's work, you go to heaven. You have 77 virgins, or you have a castle in the sky, or whatever the fuck it is. There's always a happy ending to it, which really pisses me off, because when is there a happy ending to anything?
Never.
The happy ending to finding your soulmate is one of you dying.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? There's always a sad ending to nature. This whole Disney bullshit of everybody having a happy ending is bullshit.
Hey, but there is a happy ending at the end of a massage.
I've
been... Hey.
It's an extra $5.
Shit. Now
I go to the low place.
Yeah, I guess. That's some rough.
You really don't want to...
Fucking hands like sandpaper.
You really don't want to open your eyes when it's happening.
You're just like, Kate Upton.
You just think of the coolest porn you've ever seen, and I hope that's not the person.
Oh, I love how every serious conversation gets derailed into some pervert, sophomoric bullshit.
Well, that's usually how we end everything, just because of it.
And that's how we do it here, folks. Until next week, come the revolution.